Adjusting entries are entries made prior to the preparation of financial statements to update certain accounts so that they reflect correct balance as of the designated time. Purpose of adjusting entries: 1. To take up unrecorded income and expense of the period. Number 2. To split mixed accounts into the real and nominal elements. Accruals of income and expenses. In accounting, the term accrual or the accrue means to recognize an A. Income that is already earned but not yet collected, or B. Expense that is already incurred but not yet paid. Accruals give rise to both income and receivable, or both expense and payable. Observe the application of the following concepts in the succeeding illustrations. Number 1. All adjusting entries involve at least one balance sheet account and one income statement account or statement of comprehensive income account. Number 2. All adjusting entries affect the profit or loss for the period or comprehensive income for the period. Illustration: adjusting entries, accruals, or income and expense. ABC CO dot is preparing its financial statement for the period ended December 31, 20 times 1. Adjustments are needed for the following. Case number 1. Accrual of income, interest income. ABC CO dot receive a 12% 100,000 pesos 1-year note. Receivable on April 1, 20 times 1. ABC uses a calendar year period. The principal and interest on the note are due on April 1, 20 times 2. And interest income is accrual as follows. Formula: I equals to PRT, where I is equals to interest, P is for principal, R is for rate, T is for time. I equals PRT, interest equals principal times rate times time. Principal or P is the 100,000 pesos face amount of the note. Rate or R is the 12% interest rate. Time or T is the expired time of 9 months, April 1 to December 31, 20 times 1, over the total of 12 months in a year. I is equals to P x R x T. Interest: 100,000 pesos times 12% times 9 over 12 is equals to 9,000 pesos. Step 1. Transaction analysis. Accounts affected: interest receivable, asset, and interest income. Effect on accounts: interest receivable is increased, interest income is increased. Debit and credit: asset is increased through debit, income is increased through credit. Step 2. Adjusting journal entry or AJE. The adjusting entry for the accrued interest income is as follows. December 31, 20 times 1. Interest receivable is 9,000. Interest income is 9,000. To accrue interest income earned but not yet collected. 1 year interest. April 1, 20 times 1 to May 31, 20 times 2. 100,000 times 12% times 12 over 12 is equals to 12,000. 9 months interest, April 1 to December 31, 20 times 1. 100,000 x 12% times 9 over 12 is equals to 9,000. Recognized in 20 times 1. Incurred portion: used up or expired. Pertains to the first 3 months of the year. Prepaid insurance covering the months of October 1 to December 31, 20 times 1. This portion is computed as follows: 120,000 times 3 months. Ano ba sa B? Not yet incurred portion. Unused or unexpired. Pertains to the remaining 9 months of January 1 to September 30, 20 times 2. This portion is computed as follows: 120,000 times 9 months over 12 months equals to 9. 120,000 times 9 months over 12 months. 9, 12 months is equals to 90,000. The not yet incurred portion is recognized as asset as of December 31, 20 times 1. It will only be recognized as expense in the next accounting period, 20 times 2. This portion is computed as follows: 120,000 times 3 months over 12 months is equals to 30,000. The incurred portion is recognized as expense for the period 20 times 1. B. Not yet incurred portion and use of 1 year interest. April 1, 20 times 1 to March 31, 20 times 2. 100,000 times 12% times 12 over 12 is equals to 12,000. 9 months interest. April 1 to December 31, 20 times 1. 100,000 times 12% times 9 over 12 is equals to 9,000. Recognized and 20 times 1. 3 months interest. January 1 to March 31, 20 times 2. 100,000 times 12% times 3 over 12 is equals to 3,000. Recognized and 20 times 2.
Case number 2, accrual of income. The application of the accrual basis causes timing differences between the date income is recognized and the date it is collected. Adjusting entries are needed to ensure that income is recognized in the proper period when it was earned. Step 1. Accounts affected: rent receivable, asset, and rent income. Effect on account: rent receivable is increased, rent income is increased. Asset increased through debit, income is increased through credit. Step 2. December 31, rent receivable 50,000, rent income 50,000. When the rent is collected in the next accounting period, it will be recorded as follows.
Alright, so for case number 3, that is accrual of expense, interest. So for the ABC Corporation issued a 12%, and that is 100,000 in 1 year. And then for note payable on October 1, that is the principal and the interest are due on October 1. So the interest expense is accrued as follows. For the formula for this one is I, that is for interest, equals principal rate and time. So the principal, that is 100,000, that is the face amount. And then rate, that is the 12%. And then time, the expired time of 3 months. So example, the October 1, this is for October 1 to December 31 over 12 months in a year. So for interest, that is 100,000 times 12% times 3 over 12, that is 3,000. That is the interest. So for transaction analysis, accounts affected, interest expense, and interest payable and liability. For the effect on the accounts, interest expense is increased. And also, interest payable are also increased. For debit, credit, expense is increased through debit. Liability is increased through credit. Step 2, that is for adjusting journal entry. For on December 31, the interest payable is 3,000. And also the interest payable 3,000 as well. So to accurate or to accrue interest expense, this is incurred but not yet paid. So in the next accounting period, the payment of the interest is recorded as follows. This is for October 1. For interest payable is 3,000. Interest expense is 9,000. And the cash is 12,000. This is to record the payment of the interest. So the debit to interest payable pertains to the accrued interest on December 31. So for 1 year interest for October 1 to September 30, that is 100,000 times 12% times 12 over 12. So the interest for that one is 12,000. So for the 3 months interest, October 1 to December 31, 100,000 times 12,000 times 3 over 12. So the interest for that one is 3,000. And that was recognized in 2021. So for 9 months interest, January 1 to September 30, 100,000 times 12% times 9 over 12. The interest for the 9 months is 9,000. This is recognized in 2022.
So case number 4, accrual expense and utilities expense. So the cost of electricity used for the month of December 20 times 1 is 4,000. The electricity bill was received and paid in January 20 times 2. So step 1, transaction analysis. So accounts affected there is ang kaning utilities expense and utilities payable. So effect on accounts, kay mo ni siya ang utilities expense. So utilities expense is mo increase. Ang utilities payable is mo increase gihapon. So ang debit and credit, so ang debit ani is expense. So ang gibuton diri is expense is increased through debit. So ang liability is increased through credit. So pungatan ang sa jud ni ang accrual expense. So accrual expense, expenses already incurred within the period but not yet paid. So example is kaning utilities expense. So nag-incurred na ni siya for the month which is December. Which is for the month of December. And gihatag na sa nimong bill at the end of December, which is kalit, the end of December. Kasi ang problema is wala din mo siya nabayaran within the month. So liability gihapon siya, which is utilities payable. So kailangan man nimo nga ma-record nimo ang expense. So ano na siya? Ang step 2 is adjusting journal entry. So ang gibutan diri sa December 31, 20 times 1 is debit, utilities expense. Ang credit kay utilities payable. So 4,000 mo ni siya nga katong wala pa nimo na siya na adjust. So pag abot diri sa January 20 times 2, which is ang debit kay utilities payable 4,000, na credit kay cash, credit cash 4,000, which is mo na siya, imo na siya ma-adjust. So once nga mabayaran na nato, mag-adjusting yung 3 which is kaning January 20 times 2. Kay para masakto na siya, sakto na yung balance.
Case number 5, accrual of expense, salaries, expense. So, employees earn total salaries of 100,000 pesos in December. However, the salaries were paid only in January. So, accounts affected. So, accounts affected is mo ni siya ang salaries expense o salaries payable. Effects on accounts. So, ang effects on accounts is iyang expense is mo increase siya through debit mo ni ang katong 100,000 pesos. So, and debit or credit. So, ang debit or credit is iyang liability is mo increase siya through credit. And adjusting journal entry. So, adjusting journal entry in December 31, salaries expense is 100,000 pesos, and salaries payable is 100,000 pesos. Recognition of depreciation expense. Systematic and rational allocation recognize costs that provide economic benefits over multiple accounting periods, but are not directly linked to revenue earnings. This concept is applied to the recognition of depreciation expense, where the initial asset's value is converted into an expense over equipment usage.
Illustration: adjusting entries, depreciation. Case number 1, depreciation expense. On January 1, 2021, a business acquired equipment for 20,000. The business expects to use the equipment over the next 4 years. So, ang entries niya is January 1, 2021, mo siya late niya. Ang equipment is atong debit na niya is 20,000. Niya ang atong cash, atong credit niya is 3,000. So, to record the acquisition of equipment, depreciation means a decrease in the value of something over time. So, ang resulted rate is 20,000 ay ang equipment is 20,000. Yan dapat kini 20,000 kanang mo kuan siya over 4 years. So, ang 20,000 ato na siya times of kaupat. So, ay i-divide mo siya kaupat. So, 20 divided by 4 is 5. Mamaw na siya diri. Cost of equipment with 4 years useful life initially recognized as assets 20,000. So, muna na siya. Ang year 1 expense, depreciation expense is 3,000. Ang year 2, 5,000. 3, 4, 5, 5,000. So, muna siya. Ang step 1 transaction analysis. Accounts affected. Depreciation expense is muna siya expense. And accumulated depreciation is muna siyang contra asset. Yeah, effects on account. Depreciation expense is increase. Yeah, ang accumulate depreciation is the decrease. Increase po dahil. Sunod, muna siya adjusting entries. Date, December 31, 2021. Depreciation expense. Ang atong debit niya is 5,000. Kanya, ang credit sa atong accumulate depreciation is 5,000. So, to record the depreciation expense for the period, the carrying amount of the equipment as December 31, 2021 is determined as follows. Ang equipment is 20,000. Yeah, ang accumulated depreciation is 5,000. So, 20 minus 5 is 15,000. So, more na siya ang equipment net 15,000.
Recognition of bad debts expense. Illustration: adjusting entries bad debts expense. A business has total accounts receivable of 2,000 on December 31, 20 times 1 before any adjustments. Of the total amount, it was estimated that 500 is doubtful of collection. So, doubtful of collection in Filipino, alanganin na makolekta. This shows how to account for bad debts, money a business likely won't collect. The situation here is, a business has 2,000 in outstanding invoices, accounts receivable at the end of the year. They estimate 500 of that unlikely to be paid. Understanding the account's bad debts expense. This account shows how much money the business expects to lose because customers won't pay. It increases with a debit from the left side of the journal entry. So, allowance for bad debts, this is a contra asset account. It reduces the value of accounts receivable to reflect the estimated uncollectible amount. It increases with a credit. So, the adjusting entry. To account for the expected bad debts, the business makes an adjusting entry. They debit bad debts expense by 500. They credit allowance for bad debts by 500. This entry doesn't directly affect cash. It adjusts the accounting records to reflect the reality that some receivables are unlikely to be collected. So the result here is, after the adjusting entry, the net accounts receivable, or what the business realistically expect to collect, is 1,500. Accounts receivable 2,000. Allowance for bad debts 500. Accounts receivable net 1,500.
So my topic is about the concept of immediate recognition. Under the concept of immediate recognition, a cost that produces no future economic benefits or an asset that ceases to provide future economic benefits is recognized immediately as an expense. So, under the concept of immediate recognition, if a cost or expense does not bring any future economic benefits or it's no longer provides any economic value, it is recorded as an expense. So, if ang cost or expense kay dili makahatag og any future economic benefits sa imong business or dili na makatabang sa imong business kay dili na maka-provide or of any economic value, is recorded as an expense immediately or as we know, isip usa ka gasto. Example sa immediate recognition is office supplies. If a company buys supplies like paper and pens, these are used or ang kaning butanga is magamit dayon and do not provide long-term benefits. So, dili siya kanang makahatag og kanang dugay nga kanang value sa imong business. So, ma-record na siya as immediately recorded as an expense. So, another example for immediate recognition is damaged machinery. So, if a machine in a factory breaks down and dili na ma-repaired or di na magamit bisag kanus-a, its remaining value is immediately recorded as an expense because it no longer provides future economic benefits. This concept ensures that financial statements reflect only assets and costs that will contribute to the company's future operations or ang kanirang makatabang sa kalihokon sa usa ka kumpanya. So, one application of this concept is the recognition of bad debts. Bad debts expense. In the case above, the 500 account receivable is immediately charged as bad debts expense because it ceased to provide future economic benefits. It became uncollectible. So, isa ra sa example is recording bad debts as an expense. In the example above, the 500 account receivable is immediately recorded as a bad debts expense. Kaya di na makahatag og or makaprovide of future economics and cannot be collected. So, next, at this point, we have already completed discussing the three expense recognition principles. So, a summary is shown below. First, for the expense recognition principles, we have matching. Its description is costs that are directly associated with the earning of revenue are recognized as expenses in the same period where the related revenue is recognized. Its application, the cost of inventory is initially recognized as asset and charged as expense, or cost of goods sold when the inventory is sold. So, the matching principle in account means that expenses are recorded in the same period as the revenues they help to earn. In the simple terms, you match the cost of something to the income it generates. For example, when a business buys products, the cost of the products is treated as an asset because they haven't been sold yet. So matawag do siya nga asset kay wala pa siya nabaligya. And then once the product are sold, the cost of those products is recorded as an expense because it directly relates to the revenue earned from the sale. This ensures that the income and the related expenses are reported together, making it easier to see how much profit the business really made. And second, for the expense recognition principle is systematic and rational allocation. Costs that are not directly associated with the earning of revenue are recognized as expenses over the periods of economic benefits are consumed. Its application, the cost of equipment is initially recognized as asset and charged as expense depreciation over the periods the equipment is used. So, ang systematic and rational allocation, some costs don't directly help make money right away. So, ang uban ko no nga kanang magasto ko no is di ko no makatabang dayon, but they still provide value over time. These costs are spread out and treated as expenses. Over the time they are useful. For example, when you buy equipment, it is recorded as an asset. For example, when you buy equipment, it is recorded as an asset, something valuable. So, over time, as the equipment is used, its value decreases. This decrease in value recording as an expense called depreciation. This way, the cost is matched with the time the equipment is being used. So, third is immediate recognition. Its description is costs that do not provide future economic benefits or assets that cease to provide future economic benefits are recognized immediately as expenses. Its application, an account receivable that provides doubtful of collection is immediately recognized as expense or bad debts expense. When a company realizes that it might not be able to collect money owed by a customer, it records the amount as a bad debt expense right away. This means the company treats it as a money loss, reducing its profits.
Hi, I'm gonna discuss all types of accounts, including real accounts, nominal accounts, clearing accounts, suspense accounts, and mixed accounts. Now, let's start. Real accounts, or what we call permanent accounts, are accounts which are not closed at the end of the accounting period. These accounts includes all balance sheet accounts except the owner's drawing account. Now, what is real accounts? These accounts do not close at the end of the accounting period and carry their balances forward into the next period. Real accounts include these: assets, liability, and equity. In assets, we have cash, inventory, and buildings, and also equipment. In the liabilities, accounts payable or loans. Here in equity, we have owner's capital, retained earnings, and other else. Now, the balance in these accounts remain open and accumulate over time. The only time they are adjusted is when there are changes in the actual financial position of the business. Now, that is the real accounts or permanent accounts. Now, let's proceed to the nominal accounts, or what we call now is temporary accounts. It closes in it closes it closes in the end of the accounting period. These accounts include all income statements, accounts, drawing accounts, clearing accounts, and suspense accounts. Now, what is nominal accounts? These are accounts that close at the end of the accounting period, meaning their balance is transferred to a permanent account, which is the real accounts, typically to the owner capital in retained earnings. So, nominal accounts include these types: income accounts, expense accounts, and drawing accounts. And also, we have clearing and suspense accounts that in income accounts, we have sales and revenue. In expense accounts, we have rent, wages, and utilities. Drawing account is withdrawal by the owners or personal use. Clearing or suspense accounts used temporarily to resolve discrepancies. At the end of the accounting period, the balance is nominal accounts are reset into zero, and the total income or expense for the period is transferred to the equity section on the balance sheet. Now, the difference of real accounts and the nominal accounts. Real accounts reflects on the ongoing financial position of the business with balance carried forward. Nominal accounts representing the performance during the specific period and are set at the end of each accounting period to measure the new period's performance. Real accounts are permanent and track long-term financial status, while the nominal accounts are temporary, tracking short-term financial result that's all present periodically. Now, that's all for the nominal accounts and the real accounts. Now, let's proceed to the clearing account. Clearing account is an account used temporarily to store amounts that will eventually be transferred to another account. An example is the income summary accounts, which store amounts of income and expenses during the period. The balance of the income summary accounts represent to the profits or loss during the period, which mean the income summary is close to the owner's capital accounts before the financial statements are prepared. Now, here, a suspense account is an account used temporarily to store discrepancies in the accounts pending their analysis. An analysis and permanent classification. An example for this is the cash storage or overage. Accounts which is temporarily used to record cash shortage or overages pending their investigation. Let's proceed to the mixed accounts. Mixed accounts have both real and nominal accounts components. These accounts subject to adjustment. Mixed accounts include adjusted payments, preferred assets, and deferrals. Unearned income that have both expired and unexpired components. the expired portion of the nominal accounts components, while the unexpired is the portion of the real components, which in real accounts. At the end of the period, adjusting entries are needed to separate these components because the nominal accounts is presented as the income statement, while the real accounts components presented to the balance sheet. Now, that is the mixed accounts. This is the example of mixed account before the adjustment and after the adjustment. Ikatlo.
So to continue our topic, we shall now talk about the methods of initial recording of income and expenses. To understand how adjusting interests for mixed accounts are made, let us first take the methods of initial recording of income and expenses. And today I'll be talking about the methods of initial recording of income. So in income, in mixed accounts, is an advanced collections of income may initially be recorded using either the liability method or income method. So unsa man is one? Liability method and income method. Unsa may about ang income na anong advanced collections ba? So ato na yung talk about. So first is liability method. Unsa man siya? So ingon rin na under this method, cash receipts from items of income are initially credited to liability account. Sabi mo yan. Nag-income ka na, nabutang si mo liability account. Diba liability account, utang na siya. So ato na example na. At the end of the period, the earned portion is recognized as income while the earned portion remains as liability. So, ang pasabot ani, unsa may kuan ning liability method, kay still be magbutang tag quotation na imong customer tigbayad og advance payment sa imo. Like example lang, nakay rent na 100 per month, 100 pesos per month. And imong customer ni pay og about a year. The advance payment siya for a year. So, may tabo na nagbayad siya 1,200 pesos. Means like bilang a year man 100 per month man imong kan rent. If you times to 12 sa mahog usa ka year ang 12 months, may mo siyang 1,200 ang if 50 times ato sa 100. So mo na bayad siya 1,200 sa imo. Nya. Advance payment man. Usahan man ni. So, if you record nila atong journal entry sa man ni. To nakaingon nagbuta na kag if liability method imong gamit, mubuta na siya sa cash 1,200 ang imong debit. Pero pumunta na unsa si credit? Unsa gipagawas sa kan? Na liability method man. Like ato na butang sa imo utang. Ano na imo siyang utang? First ato sa subton ano na imo siyang utang. So nabayad na imo customer yung advance payment. Unsa may nakautang sa imo? Ang imong service. Mao na kay imong utang sa imong customer. Wala pa natagan imong service for kana na time. Like napa may time na ibilin. Like mag-base sa monthly man. So ano nang kanon? Na unsa may ibutang nato sa credit? Ang ibutang nato is unearned rent. Kay morning ito record receipt na 1 year rent in advance. Unsa may nanit unearned rent or unearned revenue. Unearned pa siya kay wala pa nimo na earn fully. Like wala pa man nimo na hatag fully ang imong service sa imong customer. So manang napakay liability account of 1,200 pesos. Unsa ang nanay nato? Like silbi. So na kana na kuan nabutangan nimo. Nanilabay nag 1 month. Unsa may ibutang ko sa pag-adjust sa journal entry ani after 1 month. So unsa untay mo pa monthly rent mo 100 pesos. So, unsa may i-debit na to sa itong journal natin eh. Unsa man itong kailangan na to kuhaan sa journal in atong una na itong journal entry sa level 2. Diba? Credit na earned revenue. So, pag after 1 month, ato na rin i-adjust. Ang i-debit na to, para i-counter na to si credit na earned revenue, i-debit na to unearned revenue, 100 pesos. Na mauna na para ma-balance nimo siya. Na unsa may i-credit na to anya sa pag-adjust na after 1 month. Unearned revenue 100 pesos. Unsa man ang 100 pesos sa credit. Unsa may gipagawas nimo after 1 month? Service revenue. Mura ra giban. Pareha lagi siya. Tawaran ka lang. So, debit and revenue. Kaya mo may credit ni mong pag-una. Na para makakuha niyo siya, murag maibanan ang imong utang. Mo nang imong debit siya. May credit man to pag-una. Nga mo to, para mabalance ni pag sa imong adjusting entry sa 1 month, unsa may imong ipagawas credit, imong ipagawas service revenue, ang imong service sa imong customer after 1 month. Which is worth 100 pesos kay 1 month naman. Morning sa liability method, cash is recorded as a liability. Imong utang pa sa imong customer. Napaka-utang sa imong customer sa service nimo. Nya unsa man si income nito? Unsa man nakalahi niya? Lahi. Like gabi pa pagkalahian. Sa tinod, dili gid taon. Gabi ra gid pagkapareha in taon. Gibali ra gid siya nag-switch basta. I-explain na lang niya. So, income method. Under this method, cash is used from items of income and initially credited to income account. Ana kay ra gyud gibutaran nimo sa income account. Ang imong like ingon nimo kaning 1,000 to na sabi katong una ng situation. Kaning 1,000 to na dawat dargo na sa income. Income na. Nya ang unsa man ni pagsabot? Income na largo. Unsa man ni? So, that is a PowerPoint. Simigingon. Ang cash nimo gidebit 1,200. Nya mo to di ba income naman to nimo, so butan na siya po rent income. Pero pareho sa mo liability account. Sa tinuod, katong imong service katong imong mga imong journal pag-adjust sa journal entry, napadora gito sa kanimong income account. Like ni hapak ato siya dito ba like sabi labay mo to 1 month ang imong sa ato sa liability method. So ni na kay 100 nagpagawas sa service worth of 100 pesos kay monthly man nimo rent 100 pesos. So mo to na nihapak to sa imong income for that month ng 100 pesos. Pero aris sa kuan income method, largo na siya 1,200 pesos. Largo na. Butang kag cash, imo na dawat debit 1,200. Butang di kag unsay na credit, rent income. Nya, unsa man ni? So may pagsabot nato. So, kanin si kuan income method. When cash is received for income, the entire amount is initially recorded as income. At the end of the period, the unearned portion, the part of the income that has been earned yet is moved to the liability account to show that the company still owes the service product to the customer. So, money. Murag parehar siya. Na, ang kani, gi-move lang yun, ang imong wala pa na earned, or wala pa na imong hatag na service, ato sa liability account. Mura na siya liability method, pero murag, gilargo na siya sa kuan. Ang pag-journal entry na nimo, na nilargo lang siya sa income. So, kani debit ka cash 1,200 pesos, na, kung sa may credit mo na, service revenue, or kato, rent income. Parehar na siya. Service revenue or rent income. Na, kani, so nakasabot ta. Ni-debit na kag cash pagdawat kay kana na kuan, wala pa nagsugod ang kuan ba. Nag-advance payment na imong customer. So nag-debit na kanang orasa. Debit na ka 1,200 which is imong kuan cash na. Sunod credit kag imong rent income. After nilabay na sa 1 month. So same situation 100 per month. 100 pesos per month. Nya unsa man niya to? Unsa na to adjust sa atong journal entry after 1 month. So, debit tag, unsa man itong debit ani ron? Unsa man atong gi-credit pag una? Rent income, mao na. Or service revenue. So, debit na tag, service revenue, dali ra siya, 100 pesos. Credit unsa man, unearned revenue. Ang wala pa natong na-earn. Pero, dawat na nimo. Pero wala pa nimo na paghatag na service sa imong customer. Kaya napaka 11 months kuwang. Napaka 11 months utang, which is 1,100 pesos. Tamo tayo mabutang to sa liability. Muana na siya iban sa liability account nimo. Puro na siya liability method. Pero nakalahi, basta if income method, butang na siya income, largo, iban-iban sa liability. Liability method, utang na largo sa liability account nimo. Pero ato sa income anam ka puno. Balik-balik na siya. Pareha ra gyud siya tan. Ang pagkuan ra gyud ani kaya ang importante gyud ani is based sa oras. Like what time based nimo na kuan. Like based sa sino pa tarong explain ng exact time gyud ba? Like 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. Like sabi ang pag-adjust nimo 3 months. 3 months na labay na. Pag-adjust nimo pag-adjust nimo sa kuan mo journal entry. More to katong earning revenue 300 pesos nya. Service credit revenue 300 pesos. Ano ya. Pero siya solution yung taon. Pero dali na siya solution. Like para ano sa PowerPoint like base lang siya kay mag-base sa pay ang full advance payment i-times nimo sa pila ka months nila by over 12 months which is ang year worth of year kay year man to iyang full mag-base pud sa iyang full payment na pila ka mabot mag 2 years 3 years kana mo to na before adjustment na mixed accounts niya 1 year rent in advance. Yung pag i-adjust nimo sa entry, okay, needed mo ma-separate na diba sa income na mo 90k, 30k kaysa ari sa income ang earned version nimo kay kanon like mo ni ng earned version mo ning imong service na hatag sa imong customer which is income ibutan na naman sa imong income kay record na is na mo na siya 90k yeah ari sa earned version ng kuwang pa nimo sa imong customer is 30k like dapat 3 months kang kuwang sa iyang paghatag service mo to adjusting interest are needed to separate the real account and nominal account to means of mixed accounts. Adjusting interest on December 31 are as follows. Debit method, income method. Morning nasa ato na nang giingon. Ari pag ti account sad, if liability method ang imong i-minus ani sa unearned rent. Like ang imong minus na butang ni kag income na imong na dapat ang hatag ka service. Ari sa income method, ang imong i-minus ani ang imong rent income or rent revenue. Para iban-ibanan para ma-balance po siya. And that's all para sa initial recording sa income. I hope na understand niyo and thank you.
So, expenses. Prepayments of expense may initially be recorded using either the asset method or expense method. So, asset method. Under this method, cash disbursement for items of expense are initially debited to an asset account. At the end of the period, the incurred portion used up or expired is recognized as expense while the unused portion remains asset. So, ang asset method is kung magbayad ang negosyo sa butang na magamit in the future like rent or insurance, dili din siya ma-record as a gasto. Instead ma-record siya as an asset. Kay tungod company expects na magamit or magasto ang asset in a passage of time. So 2, expense method. So under this method, cash disbursements for items of expenses are initially debited to an expense account. So at the end of the period, the unused portion not yet incurred or unexpired is recognized as an asset. So while the incurred portion remains as an expense. The expense method is a way of recording payments for things like rent or insurance. So rent and insurance that will be used in the future. So with this method, ang company mag-record sa bayad as an expense instead of calling it an asset. So kung napay expenses and og magbayad ta, unsa na to siya pag-record? So we use asset method. If asset account is debited at the time of the payment. So if we use asset method, this will be the entry. So debit, prepaid insurance, 120,000. So credit cash, 120,000. So, nganong nakasulti man ta nga nagamit ang asset method? Because we debited prepaid insurance, which is asset account. So, if we use expense method, so this will be the entry. Kani, debit insurance expense 120,000. So, credit cash 120,000. So, ano nakasulti man sa nga nagamit tag expense method kay because gigamit nato ang insurance expense, which is expense account.
This shows how to account for prepared insurance, which is insurance paid for in advance. The company paid 120,000 for a 1-year policy. The problem here is a mixed account initially records the full 120,000 as prepared insurance, an asset. So at the year end, some of that insurance has been used and some remains unused. The solution here is adjusting entries separate the used and unused portions. So expense method, the entire 120,000 was initially expensed. An adjusting entry reverses this, moving the unused portion 90,000 to prepared insurance. So in asset method, the 120,000 was initially recorded as an asset. Adjusting entry recognizes the used portion 30,000 as insurance expense. So both methods achieve the same result correctly, reflecting the used and unused portion of the prepared insurance at the year end.
The recording of items of income that were collected in advance and items of expense that were paid in advance is referred to as deferrals. To defer means to postpone the recognition. Thus, the unearned portion of an item of income that was collected in advance is recognized as liability. This is recognized as income only when earned. The unexpired portion of an item of expense that was paid in advance is recognized as asset. This will be recognized as expense only when incurred. So, its accruals and deferrals are opposites. For accrual, there are two. First is to recognize income that is already earned but not yet collected. And second is to recognize expense that is already incurred but not yet paid. In its deferral, to postpone the income recognition of an advance collection. This advance collection is treated as liability until earned. To postpone the expense recognition of a prepayment, the prepayment is treated as asset until incurred. So this is all for today. Thank you for listening.